Assalamu alaikum and greetings everyone. It's my honor to be here at Health Asia representing the Indus Hospital and Health Network Electronic Medical Record Department. And my topic today is about the clinical documentation improvement. It is a bit different topic from all of you, and my background is also different from all of you as I am basically the medical coder. I start my career as a medical coder, and now I am leading the Electronic Medical Record Department at Indus Hospital. So these are the objectives of today's topic. First, we will talk about the CDI, that is the clinical documentation improvement, why it matters, and the common documentation gaps in the documentation, and the EMR as the digital tool for the documentation, and the link between the documentation and ICD coding, and the components and the IHHN model. So first of all, I am talking about the medical record documentation. Medical record documentation is the comprehensive and systematic way of recording the patient information like the patient history, diagnosis, treatment, clinical findings, diagnostic results, and medication into the patient record. So what is CDI? CDI is the systematic efforts to enhance the accuracy, consistency, and completeness of clinical documentation. And it is the backbone of each and every organization in the healthcare system. So why documentation matters? Because it enhances the patient safety and care of the quality. It improves the coding accuracy and the reimbursement and research, quality reporting, and decision making of the hospital and healthcare organizations. So these are the common documentation gaps we identified during the coding of patient medical records. Like there is the missing details in the patient medical records, there is the vague diagnosis, there is no indication or the link between the diagnosis and treatment, and there is the ambiguity of the terms in the patient medical record, copy-paste and template errors in the patient medical records, there is missing external causes, and there is unrelated post-operative complications mentioned in the patient medical record. So what best practices in documentation can do? The documentation must be clear and specific. It captures the comorbidities like the chronic conditions, as many of the speakers said that the comorbidities are very important in the stats and the mortalities and other disease management. So there must be the proper documentation of comorbidities and other disease and diagnosis in the patient medical record. There must be the linkage of diagnosis, medication provided, and treatment between the diagnosis and documentation. And there must be the timely updates of documentation in the patient medical record. So in Pakistan, most of the hospitals are not having the electronic medical record system. So what are the backdrops of physical or hard documentation? Is the very hard to track the changes in patient medical record. There are the risk of missing data because of the hard files and paperwork. There is the storage and retrieval burden to the personnel of the electronic medical record. So what are the advantages of electronic medical record? With the having the electronic medical record, the audit trail must be transparent, there is completeness in the patient medical record, automated compliance alerts, and easy and secure access of the patient records. So digital tools leads to the smarter documentation. The EMR data is structured fields ensuring the standardized documentation. EMR prompts the improved completeness of the medical record. Coding integration supports the real-time validation. Easy data flow to reports and dashboards. This is the linkage between the documentation and coding, the connection. The medical record is the source documentation of coding. As many of the speakers here discuss about the ICD coding. So at Indus Hospital, we are also doing the ICD-10 coding. And for coding, medical record is the source document. We are reviewing each and every document of patient medical record and assign the diagnostic and procedure codes to them. And based on this coding, stats of the hospital comes out, and it leads to the research, reimbursement, and public health planning. This is the example of impact of documentation on the decision making. For in this example, the patient with pneumonia likely due to respiration after a stroke. This is the clear, specific diagnostic statement that links the diagnosis to the treatment. We have assigned the code J69.0, that is the pneumonitis due to food and vomiting. This is the aspiration pneumonia. So based on the documentation, the coding is accurate and truly reflects the complexity of the case. So this MR data shows the higher rate of aspiration pneumonia among the post-stroke patients. Based on this, the hospital take the decisions that aspiration prevention protocol should be followed for all stroke patients. So this is the evidence-based policy based on the proper documentation. This is the simple structure of the ICD code. This is the example of fracture code, fracture of neck of femur. Each ICD code comprised of 7 characters, and each character represents a unique value. So this is just for the example of ICD coding. So now we talk about how we can improve the documentation at any organization. So first and foremost is the minimum documentation standards. You have to define your hospital's own minimum documentation standards, then the regular trainings of the physician and the staff, documentation reviews, identification of the gaps, and reporting of documentation non-compliance to the relevant physician or the HODs, then the regular follow-ups. You have to analyze the trends, and if the necessary actions required will be taken. What we are doing at IHHN, we have a defined policies and procedures regarding the electronic medical record. Like we have a defined policy of documentation compliance and content of medical record. We have a policy of amendment in patient medical record. So first of all, if any physician or nursing staff hired at our hospital, we provide the initial training of documentation to them. Then we have a daily review system of the documentation during the ICT coding. We then maintain the proper logs, identify the deficiencies identified during the review. We maintain the logs, and they shared the logs with the relevant physicians on the monthly basis. Then there is the feedback loop mechanism in our hospital. If and any amendment required in the patient medical record, then we have to follow the proper amendment process. Then there is the trend analysis of deficiencies and amendment volumes on the monthly basis. We have 2 mechanisms in our hospital. We have a medical record review committee, which will review on monthly basis the deficiencies and amendments done in the last month and take the necessary actions. Then we also have a quarterly M&E meetings, monitoring and evaluation meeting in our hospital led by our medical director, who will take the further actions if any needed. Then we will provide refresher sessions if needed, or the alert emails to the HODs and the service line chairs. As I told you that we are doing the ICD coding, so ICD coding is the extraction of diagnosis and procedures from the patient medical records. So during review of the patient medical record, we identified the gaps based on the completeness of medical record, quality or the content of the medical record related to the ICD standards, and the relevance of diagnosis with the workup and treatment. This is the sample of the log we are maintaining at our hospital. We maintain this log based on the specific MR numbers, decided physician service, and the relevant query that we identified during the review of medical record. For example, in the first query, we identified that in this patient, the platelet transfusion was done, documented in the patient progress note, but the specific transfusion tab is not filled. So we mark it as the deficient medical record. Then this is the draft of the email that we did, that we are doing to the physicians. So on the monthly basis, we share this to the doctors, and I am using here the 2 terms, the deficiencies and the queries. Deficiencies are the missing details in the patient medical record, while the query is the any diagnosis or procedures that is unclear to the coder. So we are compiling both the deficiencies and queries in the logs and share with the physician. So coder raises the queries when documentation is unclear about the diagnosis, and based on the physician response or clarification, we update the records and the coding in our system. This is the case example of patient documentation in which the vacuum delivery was performed, but the diagnosis only mentioned is the GDM, is the gestational diabetes mellitus. Based on this documentation, we assigned the two codes, the gestational diabetes mellitus in childbirth and the procedure for vacuum delivery. So our coder raised the query against this case to the physician about the indication of vacuum delivery in the patient medical record. And this is the response for the physician, that indication for the vacuum application was fetal distress. So after the query, the impact of physician is the update patient medical record. The diagnosis is updated as the labor affected by the fetal distress. Gestational diabetes is the associated diagnosis, and the procedure is the same, this is the vacuum delivery. So documentation clarified leads to the accurate coding, improve case severity, and improve the data reporting. There is another process in our electronic medical record system, that is the amendment process. So any deficient medical record, deficient means the incomplete or insufficient medical record. So any modification, deletion or updation in the medical record goes through the amendment process, and this any file or patient medical record that once saved by the physician should not be editable. So if physician want to amend or add something in the patient medical record, he need to follow the amendment process. He takes approval from their HOD and their approval from the chair medical record review committee, and then we will proceed for the amendment. This is the request form for amendment in patient medical record implemented at our hospital. There are two types of medical record amendment, clinical and non-clinical. Clinical amendment is the amendment in patient medical record related to the diagnosis and procedures of the patient, and non-clinical is the consumption or billing related amendments in medical record. So what are the roles and responsibilities? Physician must ensure the quality of the documentation, provide the clarification if queries raised against them, ensures the clinical accuracy before amendments are finalized, reports human errors in clinical documentation to the medical record department in the timely manner, and takes the necessary approval before proceeding for the amendment, and make sure the clinical amendments are done under the supervision of electronic medical record personnel. And what is the roles and responsibilities of EMR department in this process is the completely review the request form and supporting documents, segregates the clinical and non-clinical documentation, secure the necessary approvals, implement the improved amendments in the system as per the policy, and maintain the amendment logs for audits and compliance. And billing and admin department manages the non-clinical amendments at our hospital, and management should analyze the quality of documentation and make the necessary decisions. So, future of CDI is the automation of clinical documentation improvement through AI and NLP for the real-time documentation review. And at Pakistan, as most of the hospitals are not electronic, so there must be standardization of CDI across Pakistan via EHR systems. So good documentation leads to the better care and coding, and CDI is the shared responsibility of physicians, coders, and management. Every word in documentation matters. Thank you.